3-2 in overtime to Edmonton. The series now tied at 2 games apiece. The Blues beat the Jets 5-1. That series now tied at 2-2. Carolina beat the Devils 5-2 in Newark to take a 3-1 series lead, while the Capitals beat the Canadiens 5-2 in Montreal to go up 3-1 in that series. Tonight, Lightning at Panthers. Florida leads the series 2-1. Dallas and Colorado tied at 2-2. NBA Knicks over the Pistons 94-93. New York up 3-1 in the series. The finish of the game was contested. The T-Wolves beat the Lakers 116-113. Minnesota up 3-1. Boston up 3-1 over the Magic, 107-98 the final. The Pacers beat the Bucks 129-103 to go up 3-1. Save big when you bundle auto and home, renters, or condo with Progressive. That's the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
Spring into deals with fresh savings at Lowe's. Right now, get 5 Stay Green or premium 2 cubic foot mulch bags for just $10. Plus, get up to 35% off select major appliances and save $50 on every $500 you spend on select LG appliances. Shop in-store or online today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 4/30. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See associate or Lowe's.com for more details or qualifying items. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Get the SportsGrid mobile app and get gaming strategies and information faster than you can say, "No, honey, I know how to gamble," when your wife asks for $10 to get a scratcher. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
The only place in football where the offense is always on the field is on Moneyline. With the 2 best hosts in radio, Donnie Rightside.
If anybody wasn't watching, listen, I don't know what you were doing.
And Kevin Walsh.
Forget act like you've been there before.
On the SportsGrid Radio Network, SiriusXM Channel 159.
Best every day now officially is underway. It's a Monday edition of Moneyline. That's Donnie Rightside. It's Kevin Walsh. Over the next hour, all the hottest topics will be discussed. We had a monster weekend in the NBA, in the NHL, in Major League Baseball, and the NFL draft. How are we feeling, K-Dub? We rested? Are we ready? I mean, come on now.
Yeah, we charged up over the weekend a little bit after a nice little BATR Saturday.
Wow.
Man, the NFL draft, though, carrying the attention well into the weekend. I don't think it was on anyone's bingo card, but I know I started kind of just watching that 5th round, like it's got to be here, it's got to be here. And I guess everyone found out the Eagles were going to draft Shedeur Sanders. So the Browns got up there and then did it at 144.
Yeah, there's a lot to go over with the NFL draft. It's one of the first NFL drafts in a long time, Kevin. I feel like just about every team won their draft. And I never get those vibes. Usually there's 4 or 5 teams like these bozos, idiots, bums. I didn't get that all that much throughout this draft. I think a lot of teams drafted players that fit their needs and also didn't have a lot of baggage like, oh, this pick isn't going to work out. But again, the biggest one was Shedeur Sanders. Expectations. Here's what I get a kick out of. We did the poll today on the show. When would Shedeur Sanders, or when should have Shedeur Sanders get drafted? Which I love revisionist history. The options, Kevin, were round number 1, round number 2 or 3, and then rounds 4 through 7. The winner, rounds 4 through 7, which I told Ben, if we would have did this question Thursday morning, it would have been round number 1, 68%, and then rounds 2 to 3 and 4 to 7 for whoever was doing that. But the fact that we know where he was drafted, like, yeah, I always knew he was going 4 through 7. No, you didn't. A heavy favorite to be a round number 1 pick, particularly to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So let's start there with Shedeur Sanders. Something we weren't used to seeing is a player that, you know, with the media rounds, and there was where like, maybe he's not big enough, fast enough, or strong enough. Quarterbacks always get overdrafted. Shedeur Sanders, overdrafted? Nope. Underdrafted? Nope. Ridiculously underdrafted? Yeah, based on what we thought.
Yeah, I think it was actually like maddening to see some of the reactions because when Shedeur didn't go on Thursday, there were people who were so, ready to run to Twitter Oh, come on. What's everybody talking about? This is a non-story. He's not that good. NFL's telling you he's not that good. And again, I like that we all of a sudden now we respect the NFL's word. The NFL is gospel, which I thought was interesting. But if you were following the buzz, Shador not going in the first round wasn't that surprising. That is absolutely spot on. Shador not going within the first 32 picks, albeit noteworthy, albeit a story, it wasn't the most stunning thing I've ever seen. Shador not going in round number 2. Okay, that's pretty surprising, right? But we heard the Saints didn't really like him, Tyler Shuck. Okay, right? And then Seattle goes with Milroe. We saw a lot of Milroe buzz in the latter portions of the draft process. But, man, it is pretty far down the board now for Shador to not have gone.
It's crazy.
And then Dylan Gabriel goes, Donnie. And every single person who was then trying so desperately to pretend that this had nothing to do with off the football field stuff then was going, well, maybe now the Sanders family will learn how to act. And it's like, wow, I thought it was just about the tape. I thought this was just about the tape. And the craziest thing possible is how this played out. There might be one team that thinks Dylan Gabriel is a better prospect than Shador Sanders. And that's the team that drafted Shador Sanders. I cannot wrap my head around it still.
Yeah, that's the issue that you have is you look at the quarterback room. Like Deshaun Watson's not in there. His name's listed there. He's not in. They probably just, here's a check, stay home, like eat a lot of pizza. You can get 20 pounds heavier. You don't even have to run laps and just stay home. We'll pay you. And hopefully it's over, which then leads you into, okay, the game plan for the Browns was let's get a vet in here just in case things collapse. Joe Flacco. You can rely on him if you need him and he'll be serviceable. Let's get a younger vet in here that's been around the block, high draft pick with the Steelers, played with the Eagles, won a Super Bowl. Let's put him in the mix there as well. But we want to have a young quarterback to also fill out that room. They go Dylan Gabriel. So on the face of it, I was like, you know what? That makes some sense. Young guy, we think, we have him highly rated. Maybe other teams don't. He could be a franchise guy. But we have other veterans in the room to sort of carry it over. Then you go with Shador Sanders, which my question was now like, okay, Shador comes with a lot of hype, a lot of game tape, and people thought he was a first rounder, where apparently the NFL said he wasn't. He goes in the 5th round. How do the Browns handle the locker room where they're actively, based on their draft, said, Dylan's much better than you, Shador, and welcome into the fold? Because I told Ben this too. Shador Sanders isn't getting drafted to the Cleveland Browns to be on the practice squad. He ends up in the practice squad, Kevin. He's going week number 1 to another football team. They carry 4 quarterbacks on their active roster? Is that what we're looking at this year?
So, in short, I think one of Flacco or Pickett would be traded. That's what I would think. Unless Sanders requests a trade, which I know how everyone would react to that, but I think you kind of laid out the scenario. Cleveland drafting him is so crazy. Here's the other thing, though. They bookend their offseason with 2 moves that completely counteract everything else they've done. If you look at the middle moves, Donnie, Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, that's our quarterback room. Oh, you're not trying to be competitive, right? You trade back from 2 to 5. You don't bring in Travis Hunter. You get a round number 1 pick from the Jacksonville Jaguars. You go, oh, so you're looking for a 2026 quarterback. At picks 33 and 36, you pass on quarterback as well, drafting a linebacker and a running back. Oh, you have no interest in winning football games next year. And then you remember they paid Myles Garrett to start this offseason. And none of this lines up. If this franchise was going to put their eye to 2026 and they wanted to win 3 or 4 football games next year, then they should have also had the Eagles' first-round pick or the Lions' first-round pick or the Commanders' first-round pick in their back pocket already for 2026. They'd have 3 number 1s, including their own. But instead, they paid Myles Garrett, did a bunch of tanking moves, and then stumbled into a potential franchise quarterback in the 5th round.
Yeah, it is odd. It doesn't look, and my process to back up the Browns would be is, all right, we're going to take a couple swings at quarterbacks this year. We'll get them in the room to see if they work out. And if it doesn't work out, we have extra ammunition next year with 2 number ones to trade up and get the quarterback that we want. I don't mind that at all, but you're right. My thought process when the Browns even entered the offseason was just get bad to get your quarterback and live with that. When they signed Myles Garrett, I sort of got a chuckle saying, well, they're trying to win, but they're not trying to win, which is the worst case scenario. 6, 7, 8, 9 wins in the NFL will get everybody fired, nobody happy, and never win a championship. You have to be all in or all out at this point. And they're sort of like dipping their toe in the water, like, ooh, it feels kind of warm at this point. Let's see what happens. But I do think the toxicness now of the I'm not saying Shador's a bad guy. I'm not saying Dylan Gabriel's a bad guy. And Joe Flacco doesn't want to win or Kenny Pickett doesn't want to have a job in the NFL. I just don't understand the MO of what we're telling our young quarterbacks. Now, I already tweeted out this morning. I think Shador Sanders does start a game next year because not for the fact he's better than everybody. I think they'll be bad and just trying to get a look maybe sometime in late November and early December of some of these quarterbacks in the evaluation process. But I just don't know where you say to yourself, because I don't think anybody would have had a problem, Kevin. 3rd round, Shador Sanders goes to Cleveland. The 5th round pick is on a defensive lineman or a linebacker. I think it would be much more thought, hey, look, we thought he'd be a good quarterback. We weren't going to take him in rounds number 2. But if he got to round number 3, now we got value and we're going to take him there. But Gabriel before him, then getting him, almost makes 0 sense the way you're trying to factor out your season. This is what it is. Moneyline. We'll talk about more next. Hot topics right here.
Download the SportsGrid mobile app.
Just do it. You might as well get it.
We're not going to shut up about it until you do.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
With the SportsGrid News Flash, I'm Trey Westerberg. The Washington Commanders will build a new stadium in Washington, D.C., returning the team to its namesake city. The plan to be announced today between district and team leadership will see the construction of a new state-of-the-art arena on the former RFK Stadium site along the banks of the Anacostia River. A suspect has been arrested in connection with the theft last week of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem's purse as she ate at a Washington, D.C. restaurant. Noem's purse was nabbed on Easter Sunday and reportedly contained about $3,000 in cash, her keys, driver's license, passport, and Homeland Security badge. The suspect was arrested Saturday. One person has died and several were injured Sunday when a boat crashed into a ferry off the Memorial Causeway Bridge in Clearwater, Florida, and then fled the scene. The U.S. Coast Guard and Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission will investigate the crash. I'm Trey Westerberg with the SportsGrid News Flash.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Are you a small business owner who needs immediate cash flow? At Swish Funding, we have flexible funding options from $25,000 to $2 million. For the best rates and terms for your business, just one application to Swish Funding gives you access to our entire network of funders, with cash in your account in as little as 24 hours. To qualify, you must be in business for at least 1 year with monthly revenue of $50,000. Apply at swishradio.com and use code RADIO. Swishradio.com, code RADIO.
Let's make something crystal clear. The winning edge has nothing to do with increasing good luck. Luck has nothing to do with it. It's sports gaming strategies and information. You want luck? Flip a coin. You want to win?
Flip it here.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Chat box popping early. X-Man's in there. Darren Filippi's in there. Kristen Hess, along with Aaron Schoen. Thanks for the support of the show. We love it. And if you want to get in that chat box, it's on SportsGrid On Demand. Over 7,000 people have subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. Come in here and watch the radio shows. It's the best way to get down to business and have fun with us. But, Kevin, we're going to talk more draft coverage. But the bigger story this weekend was, oh, no. How could you prank a guy at his lowest moment on the phone, fire the Atlanta organization, take their first 3 draft picks over the next season, make sure Jeff Ulbrich is gone, and his son will never see the light of the day in jail, because how could you prank somebody on draft day here? So before I go down this path here, it's not that big of a deal to me. But some people making it a big deal, but that's what we do on X. Things get blown up, things get taken out of proportion the way it is. Your thoughts on Shedeur Sanders getting pranked on his cell phone?
I slightly was hoping you wouldn't bring this up.
Oh, come on.
Because I saw your tweets about it, and I don't want to be overly mean to you.
Don't be soft.
But
don't be soft.
It is
it's not
any
a safe space here.
any person who is defending that.
Nobody's defending it.
Oh, yeah, you are. You are.
Nobody's defending it.
Anyone who is defending it really needs to look. We're on air. It needs to really look in the mirror. Needs to really look in the mirror, because the action is a piece of garbage action.
No, it's
and it's undeniable. So then to go out of your way to defend it, it's not a big deal, is a similar action.
Pranking is part of the business here. If you are a national spotlight person,
it's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
Everybody in life, in football, and Shiloh Sanders probably loved every bit of that prank call and thought it was hysterical and hilarious, because that guy's funny and he gets it in every single video. And the fact that you have a guy that is so confident in himself, where somebody picked up the phone and called him and told him he's going to have to wait much longer, it played into every narrative possible there for us, because you are on social media all the time. You got. It happens every single day in life. When I was a kid, Kevin, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, we're dialing numbers on the phone just to see who would pick it up and prank call them. Kids did that all the time, right up through their teens, right up through the early 20s. Now, caller ID prevents a lot of that. But when you can make a phone call to somebody in that moment, and every year, multiple players get pranked. The fact that it was Shedeur, it was funny to watch it there. Should he have made the call? No.
No,
Is it
was
in the
not
best
funny.
choice of taste? No, it's not at this point. But the fact that people are genuinely upset, like, you got to penalize Atlanta for having a laptop open that a young, dumb kid got a phone number and made a phone call. It was harmless. The kid apologized. Hey, man, maybe I shouldn't have made that call. And we move on. The people that are stuck on what an unbelievable thing that just happened is hilarious to me. It was a harmless prank call that somebody got on. That's it.
So I don't think that the Falcons need to lose draft compensation. I don't think they need to fire Jeff Ulbrich. Okay. But the NFL sends out phones to the prospects. Yeah. No one has these numbers but NFL teams. Okay, so that's a completely different situation than every other situation that you're immediately attempting to describe. Okay? That is immediately something completely different. The entire NFL draft, Donnie, right, revolves around getting the phone call. And it is obviously the most important day of their lives. So you have a phone, you've been told by the NFL, only NFL teams have the number. It's the most important day of your life, and it's now, let's be clear, going very bad.
Yep.
So when you were 12, prank called the pizza shop, and you comparing those things makes you a fool. You're lying. You're either intentionally running your head into a wall.
There was nothing,
or you've ran your head into a wall too many times prior.
There's no way.
You can't think.
There's no way. A harmless prank call that had no profanity, nothing behind it except the kid having fun with a guy who's ultra social media and the most confident guy in the room couldn't handle that, which he was fine. Called, apologized, no big deal. And again, I'm surprised that the angle for Dion and his kids wasn't like, man, they got you good. That was a pretty good one. That's exactly the way I would have played it out. Who was that on the phone? Man, somebody just prank called me, act like I was going to the Saints. Oh, man, they got you, man. Yeah, they did. Oh, well.
That's not.
How is this a big deal?
How would someone?
Did you feel the same way with Cooper DeJean last year and players in the past?
How would someone possibly react that way? Like, Donnie, if you are waiting on the biggest phone call of your life,
the biggest phone call, you're going to get drafted. It's not. Like if the SportsGrid Network called me up and prank called me and was like, "Hey man, we're letting you go today," I'm like, "Oh man, I can't believe they did that to me." Or hey, there's a girl on the phone. Yeah, it's your wife. Oh, how you doing? Yeah, I'm leaving you today. Oh man, they got me, man. They really did. Like I have such a thick-skinned personality that none of this would bother me in the slightest. And the guy who's supposed to have the thickest skin out there in Shedeur Sanders, There's no way. And I'm sure he laughed it off after that. This was not a big deal. It was a knucklehead kid, which rappers, singers, country singers, movie stars, senators, they all have phone numbers that are out there on the market, which they get calls left and right. You ever see why? Why do people check into a hotel room not under the name Aaron Judge? Because they know that phone is going to blow up with people calling and pranking them. It's just society.
They're not the same thing. Are you intentionally being naive to play this game, or do I need to actually explain the difference to you? Because I'd rather save myself the time. So just are you intentionally
every day?
Are you intentionally being naive when you compare Aaron Judge's hotel room to Shedeur Sanders' NFL handed to him phone on draft day? Do you not understand the difference?
It's the same exact.
You don't
thing.
understand the difference?
A harmless prank. Nobody has my cell phone number. If I got a call right now and it goes, "Hey Donnie, blah 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 blah," yo man, how'd you get this number and how did you prank me here? That is a laugh it off moment. Be like, oh man, that's kind of messed up right there.
No, Donnie. It would be as if SportsGrid handed you the phone, said, yes, only
has my
X,
number.
Y, and Z has the number, right? Yeah. And we are deciding whether you're going to get fired or not. I would pick up the phone and we'll let you know the decision.
Behind the scene that just set me up. That's messed up, but I get it. That's the way it is. A harmless prank by a knucklehead teenager. Laugh it off. It's hilarious.
Back.
Get the SportsGrid mobile app. It's much easier to carry than your lucky horseshoe.
And you won't get stopped at the airport.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
The SportsGrid Radio Network presents This Date in Sports History.
1967, Muhammad Ali refuses induction into the Army and is stripped of his boxing title.
My conscience won't let me go shoot my brother. Some darker people, some poor, hungry people in the mud.
The greatest didn't fight again until 3 years later. And in 1971, Ali lost to Smoking Joe Frazier in what is called the fight of the century. For SportsGrid Radio, I'm Mike DeMurgis.
The Technology Minute with George Capalbo.
A new jet lag study of 60,000 trips by normal travelers finds getting up early to catch our flight.
Sorry, you're already late.
Makes jet lag worse. To beat the 2-day average recovery time, try at breakfast exposing yourself to bright sunlight while pounding hot coffee. Or right after you land, have a big night out. And finally, a rather bizarre Cornell University study has found shining bright light on the back of your kneecaps for 3 hours stimulates previously unknown circadian photoreceptors until you fall asleep. Follow me at Capalbo on X and stay tuned to The Technology Minute for more cool stuff like this.
The early line.
You better take a serious look at the Clippers at plus 750 here because they are the one team that I think is worth taking a flyer on. If anybody's going to beat OKC, it's this Clippers team that is built to do that. At plus 750, that's your value.
It's the early line with Ben Stevens and Donnie Rightside. Weekdays, 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific on the SportsGrid Radio Network. There are too many people addicted to their phones these days, unless it's to look or listen to the SportsGrid mobile app.
In fact,
you should delete all your apps but ours.
Your wife texts you too much anyway.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Delete all the apps, people. Having fun talking about the NFL draft. And again, I think a lot of teams really did well. So the moves made some sense, whether it was Travis Hunter, the trade up there. I thought it was a great move for Jacksonville. Thought it was a great move for Cleveland. Got a great defensive player at 5. Got another first round next year. Picked up some quarterbacks to see if they can relay that. Wide receivers were taken, like the Carolina Panthers, getting their young quarterback some help. Absolutely loved it. The Browns also getting Fannin Jr. at tight end. I was excited by that. Ty Warren dropping below Colston Loveland. He had a lot of fun in that first round. So if we would surmise, Kevin, the whole weekend, because again, I don't have too many losers in the draft, to be honest. I don't.
So here's my thing with the Browns. Maybe you'll agree. if they are going to trade out of Travis Hunter, shouldn't they have kept trading back? Everyone knows the Bears wanted to get up to 5 to secure Ashton Genty. Like, why did Cleveland draft a defensive tackle at 5th overall if all they're trying to do is secure assets?
Yeah, because I see where you're going with this, and I just look at it and say, like I just like the moves. But, because my whole thing is, again, you don't have to be tanking, but understand, the concept here. We're not supposed to be a good football team this year overall. We signed one of the best defensive ends with a lot of money. I ripped the move right away. Not because Myles Garrett isn't an awesome player. Like, if the Bills or the Eagles made that move, what an unbelievable contract, man. That's going to set that team over the top. Yeah. I look for those players to be over the top. So by the time the Browns get good, Myles Garrett might not be so good. But from just the news and notes that I'm reading, like on the kid, they got the defensive tackle, plug and play guy, day one, wreak havoc. Let's get after it and have some fun. But you're right. If you just kept trading back and said, okay, from 5 to 10, you might have picked up at least an extra second-round pick. And if your goal is, let's rebuild this football team, let's get high draft picks, let's hit on a quarterback and get our franchise guy and go, it is what it is. But they might have the last laugh. Like, if Shedeur turns into a franchise guy, and I don't mean 3-time Super Bowl champion, but a starting quarterback in the NFL, and you got him in the 5th round, you'd have to trade up, and you essentially got a really good defensive tackle. And let's just say, Kevin, Shedeur or Dylan Gabriel's like, you know what? I think they're our future. You got 2 1s next year. Like, you can just be like, hey, wide out, corner, whatever you want. So I don't mind it so much, but I see your point saying, you know what, you probably still could have got a really good player at 10 and stacked up another premium pick on top of it.
Well, I got Mason Graham at 10, quite frankly. I mean, maybe not. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. There is one ginormous loser, though. Like, there's a very clear-cut loser.
Give me it.
And it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. I've never seen a team treat the quarterback position like this. I've never seen it in my entire life. Like, them not drafting a quarterback in round number 1 was surprising to me.
But again, let me just ask this question right in the middle of it too. Does that mean like Aaron Rodgers like $70 million for me to come to your team next year? Then it's not Mason Rudolph. Like, what are we doing here in Pittsburgh?
That's what I'm saying. So there's some reports. I think Rossini was like, oh, listen, they had a conversation with Rodgers before the draft. My thing is, even if they got the A-OK from Rodgers, Donnie, like, hey, I'm gonna come. I just need some time. I want to announce it on my own, but I'm coming. Like, we're all good. One, how could you trust him, right? That to me, I don't know how you could trust him. The other problem is, how long is he supposed to be the quarterback?
Yeah,
like
1, maybe 2 years.
That's so. Even if you go, hey, Rodgers is coming, we're not going to use QB in round 1, right? Okay, they didn't have a pick in round number 2. When they come up on the board in round number 3, that has to be Shedeur Sanders. It just has to be. That has to be the pick right then and there. It's crazy what they did. Yeah. They do not have a starting caliber quarterback, Donnie, and we're supposed to believe that team has a legitimate postseason chance.
No, I didn't think so coming in, but it's just wild where these picks actually wound up, which a lot of that, because again, you could laud them and say, okay, trade it back out of 1 next year and got Shedeur in the 3rd. Like, the theory would have been like, well, we had to trade all the way back up and use a 1 just to get Shedeur in the 1st round. Like, the way it played out could be dominoes. It's like saying, boy, that's one of the better drafts that Cleveland had. Or it could be, well, you blew up your room and you did all this stuff for Cleveland. And then you look at Pittsburgh and say, why didn't we just go Shedeur at 21? And if it didn't work out, so what? It's the 20th pick in the draft. You're not losing sleep. I was like, oh, what a whiff, man. We can never recover from that.
Or even Jackson Dart. Let's step back from the Shedeur stuff. There were some reports out there that they really liked Jackson Dart. They had a round 1 grade on Jackson Dart. But here's the thing. That must have been known to not be true to some degree. Because wouldn't the Giants have panicked, traded up with Denver to get in front of Pittsburgh if the league knew that they were on Jackson Dart?
Yep. That's why that 19th or the 20th pick was like, hey, you got to trade it. You got to get above the Steelers if you want Shedeur, because they're definitely taking a quarterback there. And it's just been paint by numbers. Like, again, if they would have drafted either Shedeur at 21 or Dart, people would say, that makes sense. They wanted to get their franchise future quarterback. Yeah. That's what it is, man. Pittsburgh Steelers, tough scene.
This is the place.
This is where you'll get expert perspectives and sports gaming strategies 24/7.
And it's free.
Beat that, you cheap. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Progressive presents the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders. The son of Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich admitted to a prank call made to Shadur Sanders during the NFL draft and apologized on an Instagram post. The Falcons said in a statement Sunday that the 21-year-old wrote down Sanders' number from his father's open iPad while visiting his parents' home and then later conducted the prank call. Sanders continued to wait for his name to be called on day 2 of the draft Friday, and then a video surfaced on social media of the former Colorado quarterback receiving a call from someone impersonating Saints general manager Mickey Loomis. In a conference call with Cleveland area reporters after being drafted by the Browns in the 5th round Saturday, Sanders said he wasn't bothered by the prank. Meanwhile, new Colts tight end Tyler Warren also received the prank call before he was selected in the 1st round. Bills 6th round pick Chase Lund said that he received 4 or 5 prank calls during the draft. Save big when you bundle auto and home, renters, or condo with Progressive. That's the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
Spring into deals and save on seasonal projects at Lowe's. Right now, get 4 select 8-pack annuals for just $10. Plus, get a free 60-volt Toro battery when you purchase a select 60-volt Toro electric mower. Don't miss out on these fresh spring savings. Shop in-store or online today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 4/30 while supplies last. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. Excludes Alaska.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
If sports talk stations were buffets, we'd be the one with the line out the door where every night is rib night and you came alone because the crowd gives you a measure of cover so you won't get any grief for going back 9 times. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
All right, man, come on. We got to talk NBA right now. I'm enjoying the playoffs. I hate the regular season, but when the players play like they mean it, it's fun to watch. The chippiness is there. I get a kick out of here. There's a couple things I'm getting a little bit upset with, though, to be honest, Kevin. And by the way, shout out to the NBA. I lump the NBA up when I think things are going wrong. But sometimes when they're going right, I like it. Now, tonight we should have had a triple header, but obviously Memphis and OKC, they're done. But credit, at least Memphis for showing up at home. They probably should have won game number 3 if Ja doesn't get hurt. And maybe they win game number 4 to extend that series. They didn't. Thunder handled their business. They move on. Cavaliers here tonight. We'll talk about that in a minute. Rockets, Warriors. I'll get into that as well. But tomorrow's schedule, Kevin, almost perfect. Almost perfect. Do you know there's a 6 o'clock start in the NBA tomorrow night?
No.
A 7:30 start and an 8:30 start, Kevin. Like, they're listening, and then they still have the 10 o'clock game, which I know why it has to be that day. It's the same network.
Oh, there's 4 games on?
There's 4 games tomorrow, which is tremendous. And I saw the 6 o'clock, like, as soon as Ben said it, I was like, oh, hold up, because I wasn't even looking that direction. Like, I got to give kudos to things when it does work out right, and that one did. And Clippers Nuggets, it's a shame I won't be up for it. I'm really going to look forward to that series after how crazy it was this weekend overall. And then we're going to get into the numbers of it. So let's start there. 6 o'clock in, do you appreciate that? You like that? Nice little 6 o'clock tomorrow night?
I just think that's wild.
You can watch it
I don't
now.
remember seeing that.
You can actually
I don't even
watch
remember
without being on air, correct? 6 o'clock game tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good call. That's 100%. I'll be dialed in front of the TV, really relaxed for first tip there.
By the way, did you see the odds, Kevin? And I thought we had an error. Like, sometimes, you see a graphic come up, like, man, who's messing around with me? Like, sorry, we get the wrong numbers. Tell me how the Clippers are a bigger favorite today than they were to open the series. When the Nuggets won yesterday, the game's going back to Denver. It's a 3-game set now. Please tell me how it was like a minus 120 or so favorite, minus 118 when the series started as a favorite towards the Clippers. They're now like a minus 150 now, Kevin. I thought it was a misprint. I'm like, all right, now the Nuggets in control of the series. They'll be the favorites again. How is that possible to me that the Nuggets are not favorites? Help me out.
Yeah, I think it's with the Clippers being favored, Donnie, in the 5th game, they just think they're a much better basketball team. That's really what it comes down to. Denver was still favored in the opening game of the series.
But tell me about this in the game over the weekend, Kevin. Like, yes, they won at the buzzer. Let's just say we don't have a meltdown in the 4th quarter. Denver by 18. Are we still a heavy favorite? How's that? Like, I don't get it.
It's a really good point. And I think maybe it's how you make the case to bet Denver. I just think a lot of people feel the Clippers have more horses in the stable.
Mm-hmm.
And as somebody who picked Denver in 7, Donnie, you look at this series. Like, if you're a Denver backer,
mm-hmm.
I'll put it to you like, do you see any way Denver wins this series in 6?
No, I like the talking point for me is I always thought it was going 7 as the extended series. But we were even talking about it today. Like, there's no point in my mind where I think this game ends in 6. Nothing in my mind.
Like, I think the Clippers could, right?
If they exactly. Game 5, I'm saying Denver wins it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Denver does not win in LA. Yes.
Now, I also think the series could just ping pong, right? I think it's possible that if the Clippers do win tonight, the Nuggets grab the 6th. I think it's possible. There's just no way Denver's about to win 3 consecutive games against this team. It's just not going to happen. And that's why, obviously, them avoiding going down 3-1 was so big.
Now, let me get your take on this, too, because, again, sometimes I see the odds market come up, and it just baffles me to no end. We're going to get to another one of those in a second, but the game yesterday, the Pistons-Knicks series has been just crazy. Like, the Pistons probably like, you know what, we're not used to being in the playoffs, and boy, we let it slip away. Game number 1, should have had that. We should have been up 2-0 before going back to Detroit. Didn't play that great, let's just say, in game number 3. But in game number 4, you got to call that foul, NBA. And sometimes I get upset at Tim Hardaway Jr. Like, I was telling Ben this morning, they wind up in the 3rd row and that they have to call it. The fact that was not a foul, everybody knew it was a foul. And the refs 2 minutes after the game on the report, we missed it. Pistons would have won. No big deal. We're going back to the Garden. I don't know. If you're a Pistons, player, coach, whatever, I don't know how you recover from that. Like, no, we were going to win that game. We should have won it because we were up double digits, but we blew it. But then we didn't get a foul called and we lost. That's a tough way to lose, man.
So can I do an all-encompassing one for you, maybe?
Yeah.
I think maybe the NBA needs to get rid of replay review and just live with the refs. Because you had in back-to-back games, everybody believes that was a clear and obvious foul on Josh Hart to end that game. On the other side of it, though, since there was no challenges left, Donnie, we get to Lakers-Timberwolves, right?
Yeah.
The Lakers didn't have a challenge, so Luka falling to the floor, nothing they can do, right? Then Anthony Edwards on a drive, they call it out of bounds. Lakers say, okay, it's our ball, timeout, right? Minnesota challenges. We spend 2 minutes in review. 2 minutes. Clear enough. It was so obvious it was off and Doris and RJ are drawing up the play for the Lakers. They pull out, let's be honest, a never-before-seen camera angle. Like, we're supposed to be like, we have, someone had a drone apparently accessible for Minnesota replays. They go up, hit him on the wrist. Not only is that a foul, okay?
Yes.
The Lakers lose their timeout.
Yes.
They only called the timeout because it was their ball.
Oh, they couldn't even give it back to them. Like the NFL will at least credit you back and be like, hey, look, we didn't need to get the timeout as an incomplete pass and give it back. They took the timeout as
it is so illogical, everything that I watched through those first 2 games at the end of them. I think we just have to get rid of replay. Like, if calls are bad, just let calls be bad. I can't do this thing where it's like you have one challenge. If you do get it right, we're going to give it back to you. Donnie, they had a play. The play that lost the Lakers their challenge, by the way, was Austin Reeves got called for a foul on Rudy Gobert on a play Rudy Gobert punched Austin Reeves in the head. You can find the replay. I'm not making that up. I'm not exaggerating it even slightly. It's just get rid of replay. The refs don't like it, right? The whole thing
game gets extended.
It's preposterous. Yes, the reviews take ages. Every review, by the way, there should be no review. They should go to the booth and they should let the commentators do it. Like, hey, we've already seen it 4 times. You got the call right. Or hey, we've seen it 4 times. You got it wrong. No, we can't do this anymore. It's bad.
Like the ref's worst nightmare is every player under like 2 minutes just going like this repeatedly, Kevin. They just do this. Hey, and they go, we got to check it out.
It's such a bad look, too. Every player now,
like
4
for the
quarters
game
of this.
Too. So you're saying, like, okay, the first 3.5 quarters, they don't matter. Bad calls, I live with it. Out of bounds calls, extra 2 seconds went off the clock, no big deal. final seconds here, splash down. We're going to put 7.2 seconds on the clock instead of 7.1. Let's stop the madness at this point. I do agree there is a point where you have to get it right. I just felt bad for the Pistons where if I don't even know if I would let the refs leave the court at that point because it was so clear where if you shoot a jump shot, you're not allowed to collide into that player. I don't care if you have your hands up or what happens. You can't touch that player. But I do fault Tim Hardaway. Get so that thing. Fly 3 rows back. Knock 6 players on the bench down behind you. They would call it.
I actually think what it might have done Hardaway more damage, Donnie, was that he didn't even remotely try to make the shot. He exclusively just tried to jump into Josh Hart. And I think the refs were like, a bit of an act.
Yeah. Which again, we like when the refs swallow, let the players decide. No, they decided it. Josh Hart decided it by crashing into the guy at the 3-point line. Crazy.
I cannot believe that game ended with the Pistons almost looking like they weren't going to let the refs leave the court. And then I'm watching the Laker game, and then all of a sudden, Julius Randle brought his own drone, and he's like, "No, look, see, told you it was out. LeBron fouled him," and it's like, wow, are we even serious right now? So, yeah, man, that was just
Luka's looking gassed. Bronny might be getting gassed up here. Don't worry.
By the way, LeBron is in 100 times better shape than Luka Doncic, and that's just hilarious. I'd love to hear your theories. I'll just give you the simple one. JJ Redick is showing that playoff experience matters for a coach because that was a disastrous decision that he made yesterday to play
good bench
5
moves,
guys a whole
good
half.
Players. Run them out there, see what happens, and take an L. Let's see for the Lakers. More to come. Moneyline.
Winning is not just beating the odds. It's the thing that keeps the wife smiling and your kids in respectful awe.
Oh, Father. Now cut that out.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Progressive presents the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders. NBA playoffs, the Knicks beat the Pistons 94-93 to go up 3-1 in the series. The T-Wolves over the Lakers 116-113. Minnesota up 3-1. The Celtics lead the Magic 3-1 after a 107-98 win. The Pacers up 3-1 on the Bucks. They beat Milwaukee 129-103. NASCAR Cup Series at Talladega on Sunday. The checkered flag captured by Austin Cindric. Kyle Larson ran second, William Byron third. Cindric started 7th and led 7 laps. Larson started 25th. He led 3 laps. Cindric held off Ryan Preece down the stretch to win. Following the race, Preece and Joey Logano were both disqualified, both for violations found with their rear spoilers. Shedeur Sanders had to wait until the 5th round before he was finally selected by the Cleveland Browns. Cam Ward was the first overall selection on Thursday. Save big when you bundle auto and home, renters, or condo with Progressive. That's the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling Grandma for her recipe? No-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m.? Big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas? The ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. Straight Talk. Real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. Offer valid through 5/19/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store single line activation on qualifying plan. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
You've heard of smart bombs,
Smartphones, smart cars, smart watches, and smart glasses.
Now you can add smart player.
Giving you sports gaming strategies and information 24/7.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Having some fun talking about the NBA with the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm telling you right now, though. Saw my tweets last night. Ain't no way the NBA is letting this happen. Ain't no way. Now, would the Lakers win 3 straight games? I don't think they can, but I'm telling you right now, the NBA, which I joked, was like Adam Silver is up to a pack a day cigarettes. He's got to figure out a way. He's like, you know what I mean? Just one after another, like, we got to make this work. LeBron can't get knocked out. Luka can't get knocked out. We have to get these guys through to at least the 2nd or 3rd round here. That's my conspiracy theory. I love the Los Angeles Lakers in game number 5. But by the way, Game 6 and 7, Kevin, plus money in that series. It was 168 and 195. Or a little bit over 200, I think, for Game 7. So I said to myself, I love the Lakers. Why would you take the Lakers? Oh, take the Lakers money line in game number 5. It's minus 230. Just take Game 6 and 7. Plus money, put it in your back pocket, and move on. The Lakers will win game number 5. I guarantee it. How do you like that?
Here's all right, a couple things. One, the Lakers series price being plus 385 makes me still feel very proud of myself that Minnesota to win game 1, Lakers to win the series was plus 500. I still can't believe that was more to them unlikely than now the Lakers completing a 3-1 comeback.
Mm-hmm.
I understand what you're saying that, look, the NBA, of course, doesn't want the Lakers eliminated, right? But I do think that if there is anybody out there who truly, truly does believe that the NBA is rigged,
yes,
you kind of got to hang your hat after they, again, broke out the spacecraft to overturn a foul at LeBron, where no one thought LeBron fouled Anthony Edwards. I'm pretty sure you kind of have to lay your sword down. Or, now, look, if there's a press release like Adam Silver has fired a couple of refs after bad, how good would this be? A couple of refs are fired after bad Sunday calls. Everyone thinks wow, Knicks Pistons guys, and it's the Lakers T-Wolves crew. Now, that'd be pretty good.
All in a gag order, never to be seen again the rest of the postseason. They'll reappear next year in a random Tuesday in January. It's okay, suspension's complete for this stuff at this point. But I have to hang on to it. Minnesota is, Anthony Edwards is a superstar, but it's still the Lakers. The Lakers drive everything. And for ESPN, the flagship of the NBA, to lose LeBron James in round number 1 would be devastating to them at that point. Even though Stephen A., some people get upset. Stephen A. is a true Knicks fan. This guy could care. Was that a foul? Nah, ain't no foul, man. Lakers, Knicks in 5 at this point. It sort of makes me laugh playing that heel. You want analysis as opposed to hey, what do you think about the Eagles Kansas City games? A wrap up. Yeah, Eagles all the way. Just blow this team out. It's the way you do it. Have some fun. So I do like that the fandom still gets in there, but I'm just so surprised because I know what the Lakers mean ratings wise for the NBA. We're man, how did this get to be 3-1 at this point, man? Show up, Lakers, which they will do at home, and the NBA needs it. They do.
I just want to say this. This is something that's been bothering me. It's a little random, but I just want to. The Thursday NBA slate, where I think it was Thursday, where the Denver Nuggets Clippers series ended up on NBA TV.
Yes.
And there was a tweet where it was look, I understand why everyone's upset, but then again, I can't get that upset. At least they're showcasing OKC. Also, only so many slots available when you got to shove Lakers Warriors down our throat. And I just want everyone to know, and I left it alone. That's one of the dumbest tweets in the history of tweets, quite frankly. Okay? You want a bigger spotlight for OKC Memphis? The series was atrocious. It's over in 4. Do you want a bigger spotlight for Cavs Heat? The series was over before it even started. The Celtics Magic has given us one of the worst eyesores in my entire life. Thank God is what anyone should be saying for Lakers Timberwolves and Warriors Rockets. Because there's a competitiveness and there's star power loaded throughout those series right now. Nuggets Clippers is great too. And that's my favorite part. Is there are people who didn't even have the gumption to be no, put OKC on NBA TV. It's the 1-8. It's a fake series. We want nothing to do with it. Stop complaining that there's too much Lakers. What's the story of the opening round so far? Are we supposed to pretend the story is that Ja Morant offseason chatter? Nobody cares.
Where's he going? Where's he going next? It's the same thing like the Sunday Night Baseball thing on ESPN for years always made me laugh. If you guys keep putting on Yankees, Dodgers, and Yankees, Red Sox, and then the one guy in the corner raises his hand and goes, so you want Tampa and Pittsburgh repeatedly on Sunday night because that gives the teams nobody would watch. Nobody would watch. We want and again, I'm not knocking the Reds because actually there's some players that are fun, but we want to see Reds and I don't know, Rangers. No, you don't. The country doesn't want to see that.
But it's all my gosh. Last year, man, I had a conversation with someone. I almost lost my mind. I'll tell you who after. The Clay Holmes saga. And again, just the quick synopsis. Clay Holmes was maybe the best closer in baseball, made the All-Star team, and then completely fell apart and couldn't get anyone out. And I asked someone, hey, what do you think the Yankees are going to do? And the response I got was, ugh, classic New York media, classic Yankee fans thinking this is a story. Stuff like this happens every single year. What planet are these people on? Every single year, The best closer in baseball who made the All-Star game can't close games anymore? No, stop being scared that the Yankees are giving you a story. But should we not talk about Aaron Judge? Hey, Donnie, why don't you give me the latest WOBA on, Jameer Candelario? Cut it out, man. Cut it out. That's
By the way, talking about baseball clothes, like Devin Williams, like the prize of the offseason, the man guy can't pitch.
He's terrible. He's terrible. And there's people who would want you to believe that it's a non-story. That you're forcing this on us, man. Devin Williams is fine. He's got a 12 ERA.
He's getting crushed.
It's not
the one guy like last year who was, again, Devin Williams got broken by like Pete Alonso. And then in the American League, it's like, man, Clase, you can't touch this guy. Flamed up in the playoffs. Had a guy, now they're like, we don't even know if we can throw you in the fifth inning when we're losing by 6 runs, like just to try to get us through the game. I don't know what, like you talk about like those fall offs of the elite pitchers where you can't touch this guy. And within a matter of months, it's like, he might be the worst player in baseball right now. I've never seen anything like it. Class A Williams on a spectacle.
Here's what I would do with Devin Williams, by the way. All right. I'm going to zag. Everyone says that they would, he's got to go like 5th, 6th, low leverage, right? I'd make him an opener. That's low leverage. I'd make him hey, listen, you got all day, brother. 3 outs. And you're gonna pack of smokes, you'll be fine.
You can
pal.
Relax. You can drink in the dugout. You can even go home. You can leave in the second inning. We'll catch you tomorrow, buddy. Exactly. Moneyline, one more segment to go on a big Monday right here on the SportsGrid Network.
Get the SportsGrid mobile app and you'll never be alone. Take the latest episodes of your favorite shows with you anywhere. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network. The new SportsGrid app is now available on iOS and the App Store. Experience the ultimate sports betting companion that provides personalized content from your favorite hosts. In-depth matchup previews, game and prop picks, live odds, stats, scores, and more. All in one place. And of course, on the SportsGrid app, you can tune into our live television and radio coverage anytime. On the go, wherever you are. Download the SportsGrid app on the iOS App Store now. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
For anyone who's worried about back taxes, has not filed tax returns, and doesn't know what to do next, stop and listen. Not filing your taxes can have severe consequences, especially in this political climate. Now that COVID is over, the IRS is getting aggressive, massively increasing enforcement and collection efforts. With politicians making all sorts of promises, especially when it comes to taxes, hiding and not dealing with your taxes will cause you harsh legal and financial ramifications. But right now, the IRS offers forgiveness and writes off a massive amount of tax debt. The Tax Doctor offers a free service that helps people get out of IRS collections and back in good standing with the government. Don't hide or bury your head in the sand. Take advantage of our free service. Call now to learn more. 800-816-4492. 800-816-4492. 800-816-4492. That's 800-816-4492.
Football full circle.
Cleveland does have the first pick tonight. If we get past Cleveland's second pick in the second round, and Sanders is still not gone, and now Cleveland would have passed on him 3 times, and they don't have a quarterback. Well, who's their starting quarterback right now? Is it Kenny Pickett or something like that? If they passed on him 2 more times, then, this is the JFK assassination all over again. What the hell is going on? It's conspiracy. What's going on here?
It's football full circle with Ben Stevens and Scott Wetzel. Weekdays, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on the SportsGrid Radio Network.
You've searched, and now you found it.
A mostly peaceful oasis in the sports talk desert, where one multi-platform giant shines like a lighthouse on the calm ocean.
Nice metaphor.
That network
is SportsGrid.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
We've got NBA action tonight, by the way, people. And also, a nice Major League Baseball card. I'm not in love with it. We know we'll find some action. Just been slaying the alt-team totals and the alt markets. They're so much fun. And I just say this with FanDuel, Caesars. Now, I'm loving Caesars right now because they give you the option to do first 5 innings team totals. It's wonderful stuff. The alt lines out there, don't take those away from us. Let the people have the electricity turned on in their house, the stoves cooking out here, money in their pockets to go out to eat. Don't turn this off. Don't outprice us in markets at this point because they're making a lot of sense. Now, as I say, that things start to go differently, but I'm telling you, I'm just knocking down low-hanging fruit every single night and having so much fun doing it, Kevin, right now. I am.
Look, you're dialed on the baseball board, and I mean this truly. I think it's important that there's people like you doing that because, look, here at SportsGrid, a lot of us try and do everything, right?
Yeah.
We do it as best we can. But look, if I'm spending a lot of time breaking down the NBA card, and then I'm working the 2 big-time NFL draft shows, right?
Yes.
I can't, baseball day to day, I don't know. I know who the Yanks played, right? I know who the Mets played. It's hard, man. And baseball's a sport you got to try and stay on top of. So I think it's great. I know you and Tom are doing an awesome job with pro baseball today. So I think that's fantastic as well. And before you know it, baseball will start to get a little bit of a cleaner run. Let me flip this on you, though.
Yeah.
Have you paid attention? What's the percentage level? Scale of 1 to 10. How much have you paid attention to the NHL playoffs so far?
No, none. But I'm keeping an eye on the scores. And I actually I had the Phillies game on last night, and I saw the Capitals Canadians game was tied up at 2. So I was like, oh, you know what? I want to watch that down the stretch because I found it fantastic theater. But before I could turn it on with a couple minutes to go, Washington had scored, and I just kept the Phillies game on. And I preface this by saying, I think it's one of the best, most complete playoffs in sports. But I'm so far detached from hockey, I can't just parachute in and be like, let me watch. But let me tell you something. If there's nothing on except hockey, they would be fun games to watch. But I'm not going to tune in. I tune in a decent amount to the NBA just because it's on, and I want to see it because I think the storylines are compelling. And for me, it feels like I don't get NBA action in the regular season, but now I actually get the best athletes going toe-to-toe and angry with each other and controversy, and I eat that up. But if the Flyers were good, Kevin, have always been good, let's say the Eagles are, I would be a lot more invested in it. We would actually talk hockey on our shows hey, this is fun. But I'm so far detached, I can't just parachute in and act like, yes, I want to watch Ovechkin for a whole game playing. I haven't watched Ovechkin play 1 cent of a game, I should say. 1 second. The guy set the all-time record this year. I didn't watch 1 second of it. And Flyers games, hey, the game's on. I actively changed my channel if the Flyers even made it on to my screen on a game where nothing else was happening that night. That's how far gone I am in hockey.
Yeah, I'm just like you said, I'm trying to keep tabs on the scores. If I'm down in the basement, 3 TVs, I can get it a screen, certainly. Yep. I've not placed one bet yet on the NHL playoffs.
I'm in. Again, I haven't bet the NBA all that much, but I'm invested. Cleveland and Miami tonight. It's not a great game, but I want to see who wins or loses that. The Rockets, I'm really invested in, and they're pissing me off more and more. This team went on the road. This team went on the road and got smoked without Jimmy Butler. I'm ready to just. And I said it, and Ben plays it up every day. My referendum is, I will never watch the regular season again if the Rockets get beat by the Warriors. The full heat, the full gas Warriors. Now the Warriors are out here saying, we don't even Jimmy Butler will smoke these bums in the 2 spot. I can't take it anymore. I can't.
It should be. I need Houston to win tonight.
Yes, I do too, for sanity. But then again, if they lose, it'll make it even better. Sit Jimmy again tonight, which he's supposed to play. His points props 19.5, which if he plays, I think he goes over that. But outside, there's a part of me that's please, Houston, save my life. And then it's no, go the other way so it actually proves my point. Are you kidding me? Jimmy Butler misses multiple games, and it's a 4-1 final in the series for the 7th seed? I'm going to lose my mind. My head will explode.
You're not excited for 6-7 Minnesota Golden State round 2? Why aren't you angry about Minnesota winning? Come on,
I am. I told you, there's no way the Lakers are going to get left out. You are going to end up watching
meetings. No NBA
board of directors.
We're going to get Cavs Thunder, and you are going to not watch a second of the NBA. All the games start at 9:00 anyway. You're going to show up that morning. Better be like, Donnie, what do you think? You're going to go, I didn't watch a second of this game, but I don't even know why these 2 bum teams are here. We could have had Lakers, Celtics. This is terrible.
We need the anger. And by the way, that's why round number 1 in the NBA is tremendous. Tomorrow we have 4 games on. You could just pick and choose. When we start to get there, it's every other day there's 1 game. That's when I start to lose my mind on the NBA. What do you think about the points prop? I don't know, Ben. Same thing 2 days ago. I thought about that same points prop. It's the way it is. JP behind the wheels of steel. Donnie Rightside and Kevin Walsh. Tomorrow we'll be back with Moneyline.
Ask Ask any woman and she'll tell you all men are afraid of commitment.
Clearly, she's never met a SportsGrid listener. Check.